Today I'm going to show you a really simple, fresh, lovely topping for pretty much any bread. Traditionally, it's made in Italy, bruschetta, with fresh summer tomatoes, some garlic, obviously hand-picked garden basil, and we're going to top our baguettes with it later on. We're going to start with some beautiful on-the-vine tomatoes. This isn't a recipe that you could easily make with your kids. Nothing has to be done in a specific way or really measured. You can measure with your heart for this. But the fresher the ingredients, the better it's going to be. This is an example of a recipe where if you're using tomatoes in the dead of winter, they don't taste like anything, so your bruschetta isn't going to taste like anything either. So using the freshest ingredients possible is really important in this case. We just picked these beautiful basil leaves out back in this garden right behind me at the Simply Bread studio. And just giving a nice chop to our tomatoes. And when you gather them into your bowl, you want to get as much of the tomato juice in there as you can. It's going to create a little marinade that will seep into the bread, and that's the best part. I've chopped up all the tomatoes. Now we're going to chop up shallots and garlic. If you don't like the taste of fresh garlic or shallots, you can do the powder, or you can submerge chopped up shallots and garlic in water for 15 minutes, which kind of takes away a little bit of the sting. You can also prepare this a day ahead. That also lets those really strong flavors mellow out a little bit. Personally, I like to rock an onion breath. Chop the shallot as small as you can, same with the garlic. Shallots are basically just a less intense cousin of an onion. They're just not as strong. It's kind of like the difference between a sweet onion and a white onion. You can use any onions in this recipe, adjusted to what you prefer. I like using shallots because they're a little milder. You're trying to get it small, but again, don't put too much pressure on yourself. You're gonna eat this and you're gonna love it. So I'm just eyeballing it. I used 5 probably medium-sized tomatoes and 1 small shallot, and we're gonna just do 1 clove of garlic. My mom would probably cry at me and say, actually we need 4 cloves of garlic, but I'm just gonna keep it at 1 today. Plus, it's a huge one. Once you've peeled it, I like to give it like a really big squish with the back of my hand and the back of a knife. It'll give you a little bit of a head start on the chopping. And then just chop it up as fine as you can. I love the smell of garlic. I do have a hot tip. If you're chopping up garlic and your fingers smell, you can rub it on any stainless steel and it immediately gets rid of the smell. You can wash your hands with soap over and over again, it doesn't do anything, but if you just rub your hand on like your faucet, I know it sounds really weird, but rub your hand along the faucet of your sink, it will get clear of that smell immediately. You can even buy these like hunks of metal that you just kind of rub on your hands like soap, and it completely gets rid of the garlic smell, which I love. So now we've got the garlic, shallots, and tomatoes chopped up in our bowl. I'm going to pick off the leaves of this beautiful basil that we just picked. I'm really not counting how much I'm doing. I'm just gonna eyeball it. It smells so good. It smells exactly like summer, and I can't wait to put it on some fresh baked baguettes. So now I'm gonna rough chop up the basil. I personally kind of like it when you have bigger chunks of the basil in there. Sprinkle it over. Of course, you always want to add salt. I go in with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And traditionally, this is made with a little bit of vinegar or even no vinegar in it. I'm gonna add just a touch of lemon juice because I love the flavor of the lemon juice in there. This might be my little Laila spin on it. Don't get mad at me, Italians. Okay. I'm gonna use my hands, because I don't mind getting dirty in the kitchen. Clean hands, of course. And there we have it, our refreshing, light summer bruschetta. Now that we have our beautiful topping, I'm gonna show you how I will finish this sweet little meal. I'm gonna cut my baguettes on a slight angle. This is a great thing to do with like a day-old baguette if they somehow manage to stay uneaten in your house. I'm gonna put them in the oven for 10 minutes, let them get a little bit hard, toast it up. Then we're gonna top them with our bruschetta topping. I'm gonna pull our toasty baguette slices out of the oven and then top it with the bruschetta. Nice and crispy. All these delicious juices from the tomatoes are gonna soak into the bread and add so much yummy flavor. It smells so good in here. Make sure that you get a little bit of this yummy tomato juice and the marinade on every slice. And don't skimp on the topping. Last, for that extra final touch, I do a little balsamic glaze. And just a sweet little drizzle on top. Your friends will love this on any hot summer night, eating outside. It's really delicious, light, fresh, crispy.